And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What is up, everybody? It is 9:02 a.m. U.S. Pacific Daylight Time here in Los Angeles. Friday, March 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I'm going to bring a real Irishman onto the show, maybe at the next hour. After a nice long Irish song. I don't know if it's Irish. St. Patrick's Day song. But it's Women's History Month, and we cherish, do you cherish the trans women, trans kids, ladies? Well, what a mess.
Hi, I was once a trans youth, and now I'm a happy 22-year-old trans adult student at New College of Florida. This is my health care.
Ma'am? Okay.
Don't tread on it.
Senator Yarborough has militarized the Florida GOP into the genital Gestapo. Ron DeSantis wants trans people dead. You are committing genocide.
I grew up in Germany in the aftermath of Nazis, and what you people are doing is no different. This is transphobic, it is cruel, and you really should be ashamed.
What you are doing by signing this bill is an act of war. The way it is, as it is now, my people will die. And that blood, if you support this bill, will be on your hands.
I like his accent.
I'm 12 years old, I'm non-binary. If you pass this bill, many of us will die. I deserve to live as long as all of you. We are humans too.
When I was 2, I wanted to kill myself. By the time I was 15, I attempted to slice my own breath off.
Girl.
I went to the ER because I was bleeding out.
I'd also like to implore you all to remember that less than a week ago, gun law restrictions were loosened.
Nice.
And anyone who thinks it's a good idea to come and take my child, I dare you.
Every time that I look at you guys in this committee, I realize more and more that you guys want to commit trans genocide and that our blood is on your hands.
I am the parent of a transgender child who is almost 8 years old, and we are at the beginning of our journey.
I almost censored her.
What you're doing is taking away life-saving potential opportunity for me and my family.
Every 45 seconds, a trans person makes an attempt on their life, meaning that one happened every 2 speakers that you saw this very moment. 10 years ago, that was me, and 1 year ago, that was one of my siblings. And tomorrow, it will be the children of people in this room. Your vote on this bill determines if that 45 seconds becomes 30.
I don't know what that part meant. But anyway, guys, sorry for that. I'm not sorry, but forgive Hake for that atrocity. Trans genocide. I disavow all genocides, even though genocide's a political word. Well, guys, we're going to be covering Trump on our greatest enemy. It is not Russia, it is ourselves. And 3 years ago was the commie shutdowns and overreaction to the China virus, which Trump was not in support of by and large. But the rhinos and the unchristian people, non-Christians and unchristians, want to blame Trump for it. And some of you guys are Christians and you do also want to blame Trump for it. And Vaxx deaths are fake news, guys. But mothers are dying more. Maternal deaths. And as I told the people before the stream started, it is also St. Patrick's Day. JLP's new producer is Irish, not white. No, he's mostly white and 1/3 Irish, is what I understand. And he will be joining the Hake Report, maybe perhaps right after the long St. Patrick's Day song, after the break, the next hour. All that and your calls if you would like to call in. But anyway, guys, let's get right on with the show! Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying the Mexican original version. Mexican American, totally Americanized, of Mexican descent. original version of this theme song. The one I play during Monday through Thursday is by an Irish male. Irishman.
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
So, how you guys doing? I am fine. Do the Irish love the beautiful rebel flag? Is this close enough to Irish? What a miss. Do not kiss me. I'm not Irish. I'm not that Irish anymore. I am wearing a nice non-t-shirt today. It is I call it a button-up t-shirt. Some of you guys call it a button-down t-shirt. Perhaps I'm wrong. Or maybe we're both correct. I think I button it up. But maybe I button it down. Button-downs are thicker, says Nick. I was wondering if button-up shirts are the polo shirts that you have to button just the top parts. Like for winter. It could be wrong, says Nick. Anyway. Irish power. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Says off air and see. I disavow. And it does have green in it. It also has red in it, which maybe makes it look brown. It's plaid. Is it plaid? Is that Scottish? I'm more Scottish than I am Irish. Anyway, how you guys doing? I'm doing fine. These freaks need to be locked in a padded room, says Uncle Ted's cabin. And spoiler alert, quoted somebody else in the chat, Slays Daily, says every single one of them needs to be checked into a mental hospital, referring to those people they're humans, whom I played at the beginning of the show, overreaction to like a Florida law, I guess, or something. Public comment from the trans kids. What a mess. It's ridiculous. Let me just explain that for you guys. You are committing genocide, says transgender people, responding to a Florida bill supported by Ron DeSantis that would ban minors from receiving gender-affirming surgery, so-called. Amber Jo Cooper tweeted out the video. Speakers are outraged over a bill that bans minors from receiving sex reassignment procedures, restrict medications, and change custody law. One speaker said DeSantis wants trans people dead. And State Senator Clay Yarborough has militarized the Florida GOP into the genital Gestapo. Yikes. I don't even know what that means. It's crazy. Let's clean our palate with our greatest president, shall we? Donald J. Trump. According to accountable GOP, sides with Russia in this conflict between Russia and Ukraine. The greatest threat to Western civilization today is not Russia. It is probably more than anything else ourselves. Sounds accurate to me, Mr. Our Greatest President. Here's the clip 12 over here from Donald J. Trump, just to let you guys know. Wow, Hake, looking sharp. Thank you, Ashley. Shout out to the Facebook crew. They're always nice because they're ladies. Here's Donald Trump speaking the truth according to accountable GOP, and they think he's siding with Russia. Here you go.
Our foreign policy establishment keeps trying to pull the world into conflict with a nuclear-armed Russia based on the lie that Russia represents our greatest threat. But the greatest threat to Western civilization today is not Russia. It's probably, more than anything else, ourselves and some of the horrible USA-hating people that represent us.
That's a fact, Jack. It seems like, and I wonder if it's true, that that they're going after Russia partly because, remember when Hillary kind of out of nowhere, is ourselves a new code word? The new code word? Yes. our fellow whites. It seems like ever since they scapegoated Russia for Trump winning, for us electing our greatest president, we the people elected our greatest president, and they blamed Russia, Russian propaganda, Facebook propaganda for us voting for him, the sensible people voting for him. Who could vote for Trump? Sensible people. The senseless people voted against Trump. And I'll get to some of those senseless people. Oh my gosh. While I'm here, let me get to this. 3 years ago, some of you guys are against Trump over this mess. 3 years ago, yesterday, they were calling for the Dr. Fauci, Mr. Shorty Pants. Is he Irish? No, I think he's Italian or something funny like that. Shout out to the Italians. This is from Greg Price, clip 14. Jumping around. I have to plow through some of this stuff, and then I'll get to some calls. And because I got to talk to Sean, maybe. 3 years ago today, tweeted Greg Price yesterday, March 16th, the day everything changed. Feels like it would have been like the 13th or something. But maybe it was the 16th. The day everything changed. Look how excited Fauci and Birx is that lady, were about permanently altering the lives of millions of people. I don't know if they knew it would be permanent, but yeah, look at them smiling, all smiley smile. Here's clip 14, 30-second clip of Birx talking, the woman. And then she lets Fauci on, her mentor. And they're all chuckling, and Trump is smiling along with them, and then he gets serious again. Here it is.
I just wanted to read. There's an answer to this.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Tony. He was my mentor, so I'm going to have to let him speak.
The small print here, it's really small print. In states with evidence of community transmission, bars, restaurants, food courts, gyms, and other indoor and outdoor venues where groups of people congregate should be closed.
Mr. President, are you telling governors in those states then to close all their restaurants?
Well,
and
we
their
haven't
bars?
said that yet.
Thank you, Trump. We haven't said that yet. Trump didn't tell. He did the 15 days to slow the spread. I admit that one. Marc Lobliner. What did he mean, bars? What's bars? Oh, he was saying bars. Restaurant. What is he from, like Boston or somewhere? Psst, Fauci. Phony Fauci. He's all short, but he's pretty healthy for an 80-something-year-old. Pretty, short people, maybe they live longer or something. He's relatively healthy, but he's not very manly, I would say. Don't say that, Costin. His voice is horrible, says Dan Clifton. Almost not as horrible as the Attorney General whom Obama wanted on the Supreme Court, Merrick Garland. Oh my gosh, that guy's voice makes me shudder. And I like smoker voices, at least on ladies, but not, I don't know if he has a smoker voice, but it sounds kind of like it, just grovelly. Ugh. Gravelly? But, yeah, they close indoor and outdoor spaces. Just, in my opinion, overreaction. I don't think those shutdowns were needed, especially when the government has no business forcing people to shut down. Mama government, mama spirit, phony Fauci. He loved Hillary Clinton's performance when she's all, what difference at this point does it make? We just have to, why they attacked and killed some of our people in 9/11, 2012, Benghazi, right? We just have, what difference at this point does it make about what happened? And then later she says, we just have to find out what happened. Dumb. Contradicted yourself, silly Hillary. But people were impressed with it, including phony Fauci. That was when Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State under Obama after the Benghazi terror attack, right? Lady Seesaw. Ooh, a button-up shirt? So anyway, that phony Fauci is a mama, and mama spirit wants to shut down and be all overprotective of the people. And the gays didn't like Fauci during the 80s or whenever AIDS was a big scare. and killing some of them, or maybe that was the medication that was killing them too, maybe. I don't know. And phony Fauci, the overreaction to the China virus, a lot of life years lost, according to Revolver News. And I don't think Revolver News is very much fake news. It may not be approved by the establishment. So far be it from Hake to mention Revolver News too much. I only mention Call Me Nonsense Network. That's more laziness than trying to kiss up. But anyway, phony Fauci and Dr. Birx. He's my mentor, and she's all old. Not that old. She's not that old. She's still mildly attractive, too, by the way. But these are immature people and not thinking manly. Trump was thinking manly. He was. I remember him calling for people to open up again. But you can't force the locals to open up again. Cities, states, they have their rights. And they have their rights to violate the rights of the normal people, apparently. You know, the people who don't want to shut down. Marc Lobliner, who is a bodybuilder, sort of a conservative guy. Not a Christian, though. Not a Christian. In some cases, quite unchristian, by the way. But I like him. But he's all, Trump looks pretty happy with them to let them destroy millions of lives, like he knew that would happen. Maybe he did. Trump initiated the lockdowns with his 15 days to flatten the curve. As a CEO, chief executive officer, my job is to hire competent people. And if they make an error, prevent or correct it. Trump showed horrible leadership skills during COVID. Other than COVID, though, foreign policy, non-COVID economy, Trump did very well. Well, thank you, Marc Lobliner. You showed a little bit of sense there. People were like, I remember one of the friends of the show called in upset. I'm not used to seeing me all dressed up. Somebody said if Hake flexes, he's gonna bust through his shirt. Where's the green shirt? It is green. Forget you guys. Look at my hair. Hair's like brownish reddish. Orangish, brownish. Compared to that, it's clearly green. Come on, man. Come on, man. Anyway, Nick says, haters don't want to admit how many of them agreed with 15 days. We were all there. It was the new thing. And we didn't even know about it that much, right? There were a lot of people taking it quite seriously. I remember Cernovich was all serious about it. I remember Asmodor and all of them were quite serious about it until they figured out, okay, no, this is more affecting old people, fat people, and people with what they call comorbidities. Everybody was quite concerned, even before the media got on board with being concerned. Because the media started getting concerned when they're like, ooh, let's scaremonger about it because we can hurt Trump with this. And also, we're women, so we have fear and we have worry, and we like to push that mess on people. And the women eat it up. And the males who are betas to the women follow all that. Hake getting pinched. No, I'm not. I'm wearing green. And plus, somebody pointed out my eyes have a little bit of hazel in them, which is green. So anyway, thank you, Marc Lobliner, I guess. He's not a Christian. The way I found out he's not a Christian, this bodybuilder guy, strong bodybuilder guy, family man, by the way. I don't know if I want to tell that story. I'll have to tell it to you later. If somebody want to call in and remind me about it, I'll tell it to you later. I'll tell Nick later, off air. Oh, man. Whew. It was something about health and whether you should be doing this thing that a lot of guys do and they're not supposed to. And, he's like, oh, you're bodybuilder, testosterone, you got to do this. More power to you. But Christians and sensible people and normal, like, conservative people are like, no, don't do that. Stop it, guys. Eyeballs don't count, James says, Doom Jesus. I don't know if you guys are following where I'm going with this story. I'm like, what? I was surprised at him. I'm like, I thought this guy was a Christian. Just because he was sensible sometimes, right? But no. No, he was kind of cheerleading that. And normally men know that stuff weakens you. Makes your legs weak and all that. As Mick told Rocky, women weaken the legs. Shaking my head. Bodybuilding goes against biblical teachings, as Deus Vult. Is it Deus Vult or Deuce Vult? Mike Gibson, I think you may be confusing him with a different person. Or I don't know. Did you follow what I was talking about right there?
I think so.
Yeah. Basically, this...
Pretty much.
Yeah. Certain activities...
I can glean, I think, what you're talking about.
Say again?
I can glean, I think, what you're getting at.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Back to this story. Normie anti-Trump rhino, Steve Deace, conservative guy, radio host, tweeted DeSantis did close beaches as Trump demanded, then looked at the actual data and reopened. So he's kind of siding with DeSantis. DeSantis did distribute the poison that Trump is still proud to author. I guess that's the Vaxx. I don't know if that's poison. I disavow that. And then looked at the data, and now has the only health department in America telling the truth about them. And what else did he say? Because I didn't get the whole thing. You want a paragraph, Steve Deace. And how does he tweet so long? How does his Twitter's tweets so long? Too many words. Too many words. You want to lecture me about hubris? The bodies from all the excess deaths are still piling up in Trump's hubris. Hubris shows them no sympathy at all. Oh, gosh. Sympathy for the dead? You can tweet like that now? I'm shaking my head. Shameful. Fix this, Elon. Make them do paragraph breaks. He's giving a wall of text. Steve Deace show. He's a Blaze TV host. Glenn Beck type of a guy. He's a movie producer, husband, father, child of God. Preferred pronouns are go see Nefarious in theaters on April 14th. Oops, he tricked me into reading out loud some plug for some probably a lame movie, Christian movie probably, but not very good movie. Kind of like Christian music is not music or not very good. But anyway. Maybe you could get off Twitter long enough to stop posting prayer emojis and instead pray for all those who have suffered to have justice and for Trump to have his eyes opened. Maybe you could have as much sympathy for those who suffered from Trump's decisions as you do. Trump, I'm not deterred one iota by your demagoguery. In fact, it fuels me and spurs me more zealously pursue the truth, to more zealously pursue the truth. It's a split infinitive, Steve Deace. Hear and demand justice. Keep it coming because I certainly will. And he's responding to some guy, Theophilus, 777. Oh, Theophilus, who says Steve's hubris doesn't allow for human imperfection. His hero, DeSantis, made mistakes too. He closed the beaches. I know, I lived there. I was hospitalized with China virus in Florida and was forced to have remdesivir in an ICU without my consent. And on it goes. So says that's Theophilus. Some normal guy fuels, with 264 followers, fuels Steve Deace to keep pursuing the truth. Anyway, Steve Deace poo-pooing Trump and pumping up Ron DeSantis, who's more of a politician, which is to say a little bit phony. Here's a little flashback screenshot of Steve Deace from May of 2016 going on MSLSD, I think. Steve Deace on Donald Trump nomination. Sad day for America. Look at him. Oh, sort of fat. Shout out to the sort of fat people. When I say sort of, he's fat. But, hey, he has a nice shirt on like me, except he has except his is pink. Mine is green. Forest green. And he has a blazer on. But radio host Steve Deace explains why, as a conservative, he would never vote for Donald J. Trump in the 2016 general election. I wonder if he changed his mind on that. Dirtbag. So anyway, I'm getting tired of this. I'm getting tired of talking. Let me get to a call or two, guys. And then I'll get to some fact checks on the Vaxx. Poison. It's not poison. Nate in California is on the line. California. Nate, how you doing, man?
Good morning, James. Let's go.
Hey, nice to hear from you.
All right. Well, I know it says menthols, right? We're going to talk about menthols?
Yes, menthol, as in cigarettes, as in the flavored cigarettes that make your mouth fresh. I mean,
the delicious menthol cigarettes.
Ooh, I disavow.
Okay.
But anyway.
All right. But
menthol
it could also be
menthol makes it cold, right? And it's like,
yeah, it's that cool kind of minty, and then like they had some that were like double menthol, right? They had a click one, like it was already menthol, but then you click it and it's like extra menthol.
Okay, yeah.
And it was a cool thing they did to us. Did you know, James, in California, right here by my house? Okay, I go down the hill to the Shell gas station, and they're practically giving them away. There's 2 packs for $16.
Wow.
So I'm buying two. You know, as I need them now, you know, and then all of a sudden they stop. They're gone.
Wow.
What do you think about that? Isn't that kind of cruel?
Is that because
we're getting a big deal on them, and I start smoking them, and then they pull them away from me? What do you think about that?
I think that's the government playing mama, but I don't know. They say that this stuff is bad for you or something like that. Camel Crush says it's the real Mr. Mad. Man, you guys.
It's no worse than the air in L.A.
I know a little bit about this stuff, to be honest.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, they're doing that because the black kids and is it the gays disproportionately smoke these things because it's easier, and kids get into it.
Well, maybe I don't know.
Because it's easier to smoke than this real stuff that where you can feel that stuff hurting your throat.
Oh, okay.
And so that's their motivation.
They're trying to hurt people into smoking cigarettes or quitting.
Yeah, they're trying to hurt them into smoke the real stuff or cut it out.
They want me to have that regular tobacco flavor when they gave me the menthol flavor for the last how many years? I don't know if I've been alive.
Yeah, and they don't even like the flavored vapes or anything, the candy flavored vapes, because say that it targets kids. So what a mess.
Yeah. Well, let's put all that aside. We're still on a mission to find menthols here in California. Me and my friends, we look around and we see if there's any menthols going around.
I have some in my trunk. I have some in my trunk. I'll sell them. I'll sell them to you out of my trunk of my car at a Walmart parking lot.
Let's go.
Actually, that sounds dangerous, man.
All right. So there's this new smoke shop that opens up in where I live.
Yeah.
You know, and I go in there and I talk to the guy. New guy, and I say, hey, welcome to the community, and I just start talking a little, chatting him up a bit, and I say, hey, you got any menthols? And he says, non-menthols, and he points at what he has on the counter, and I go, no, like menthols, like leftovers from before the ban.
Yeah.
Right? And he goes, oh, let me see if I have any in the back, right? He goes in the back and pulls out a pack of menthols.
Wow.
Brings them out.
Yeah.
Gives them to me. Upcharges me, but only like $12.50. So I'm like, all right, $12.50, I'll pay it.
As opposed to what? As opposed to what amount?
$10.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Man.
But he's got the stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm down to pay an extra $2.50 to get around Gavin Newsom.
Right.
Yeah, whoever set up that rule. Maybe it's not his fault, but whoever set this up, that Menthols is gone.
Right.
You know?
It might have been that Asian guy who was that Asian Democrat politician who tried to force kids to get vaccinated about other vaccines.
Yeah. It's
some
probably
of those doctor types.
Do you remember that JLP one time he interviewed an Asian lady that did mental health? I'm not sure what kind of Asian she was.
Oh, yeah.
And she's talking about mental health and everybody, and Donald Trump needs an evaluation before she can even, I don't know, it's just real stupid, you know?
Right, yes.
Just the whole, if Yeah, completely ignorant. That's probably like the same spirit in whoever signed this law.
Wow.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah, it's
and so
but
yeah, okay.
it's
Okay,
but
ahead.
it's good to it's good to be able to do without stuff.
Yeah, but it should be at my will, not at the will of the government.
I agree.
It's just a cigarette. It's just a cigarette. I'm not doing anything, right, James?
I know. I got you. I'm with you on that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, like I could have a minty flavored chewing tobacco or what?
I remember. Yes. I mean, yes.
What's up with that?
Bubblegum flavor.
Well, there go the kids.
I know. It's like when they pushed. I remember the boomers and the older Gen Xers in the 80s. It didn't used to be the law that you had to wear a seatbelt. And all of a sudden they force us all to wear seatbelts.
Yeah. Hey, seatbelts are required for adults.
I know. It's ridiculous.
Right?
Yeah.
Shouldn't they just be required for children and children taking adults taking children? Like if an adult is taking a child, then they both got to have their seatbelt on. But if an adult's by himself, I don't see a problem with him taking his seatbelt off and not getting pulled over by some jerk on a bike.
Right.
You feel me?
I do.
Yeah.
How old are you, if you don't mind my asking?
Oh, James.
What part of Cal are you from, if you don't mind my asking?
Southern.
Right on. Man, it's good to hear from you. It's
I wasn't done, James.
Go ahead. It's like the mama spirit that they're trying to
it's a total
everybody.
mama spirit. So men got to do things. We're getting around the mama spirit. We found a place in Cyprus. You know what I mean?
Are you
Let's
supposed
just say
to be
Cyprus.
are you supposed to be saying this on radio? I
Yeah,
disavow.
it's no problem. I found this nice place
Wait, why
in
do you
Cyprus
say it's no
Buena
problem?
Park.
How do you know it's no problem? I could get banned for.
No, not you.
I disavow
Well, look,
this illegal activity. You guys with your menthols.
Okay, that's what I want to know. Well, here's my other question.
Yeah.
Is it illegal activity for me to go and buy a pack of menthol cigarettes?
I don't know if it's illegal to buy it. It may be illegal to sell it. So
so I'm not doing wrong. It's the cigarette dealer.
You're doing wrong by. I think that you're an accessory to him selling it. Lord,
I'm an accessory to what? Cigarette smuggling?
To illegal minty cigarettes selling. Kids don't smoke.
If you look around, there may be some ones that don't have the little mark, a little sticker on the bottom. You know, they're from another place, another land, and they're like only $2.50 a pack. You know?
Yeah.
And they have menthols. So we're doing it despite. You know what I mean?
But they're motivating you to smoke more by you reacting like
not.
this way.
I am not smoking any more than I normally do. I'm going through that $2.50 pack the same as I would a $12
But you're getting excited about
pack.
it. You're getting your ego excited about it.
I'm not getting my ego excited. I'm just excited about saving money on something that I buy on a semi-natural basis. I mean, I smoke like one pack for 4 days. Yeah.
So you go 4 days. It takes one pack. One pack.
Yeah.
Lasts you 4 days.
Yes, sir.
How many cigarettes is that per day, or how many cigarettes in a pack?
I don't know. You know how to do math, Jane. Oh, 20.
20 in a pack.
Yes, sir.
So like 5 cigarettes a day? Five?
I could do it. Yeah. NBD, man.
Pass it up sometimes.
Pass it up sometimes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like pay attention to your habit, because you're probably doing it without even thinking about it or realizing that you're thinking of it.
What am I doing? What is that?
Going to a cigarette, to be having 5 in a day.
What's wrong with that? When I wake up in the morning, I have a cigarette.
See,
I do my run.
That one up.
I have a coffee. I have a cigarette.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I don't have one till 2:00 after lunch.
Ooh, good for you.
And then
man.
I have one for I have one for dinner. Okay, if I have a dinner. If not, I'll just smoke one to smoke one. And then I might smoke one before bed. So how about that?
Isn't it good to pass it up sometimes? It's like fasting, or it's like paying attention to yourself.
Yeah, you surely pay attention to yourself. Smoking is an active activity, okay? You smoke and you go do something.
People who smoke are very judgmental. They can't handle stress.
No.
They're doing it to, it's a fact. Do you need to be smoking?
Yes.
Is smoking a need?
Is it for me?
Yeah, it's a need.
Right now?
Uh-huh.
Is it a need?
Yeah.
I pick it up and put it down whenever I want.
Then how are you doing 5 a day consistently?
Because I've cut down from a pack a day, James. Could I be on my way to quitting?
Well, but I told you you pass it up sometimes, and you're fighting me on that a little bit.
But I already told you I've been fighting. I've been passed it up already. I smoked a pack a day, and now I'm down to 5 cigarettes a day. Can I have my 5 cigarettes a day, James?
You don't need my permission. I'm suggesting you pass it up. I'm suggesting you pass it up.
I'll pass it up for the next time I need to smoke.
Because you're kind of shameless about this.
Well, why should I feel shame about smoking a menthol cigarette?
It's not that you should feel shame, but you're like proud about it.
I'm not proud. What am I proud of?
You're all excited. You're calling in, bragging about how you're finding these great deals on this stuff, and the government's getting all involved. And they're wrong, but are you wrong?
Okay, calm down.
I'm going to make you feel like smoking.
Okay. James, I'm going to go smoke a cigarette
feel
after
like
this.
Smoking after this?
For sure.
Because you're getting stressed.
I'm going to go. Hey, no, because JLP say smoke on it. I'm going to go think about our call and go smoke on it and share it with some friends. Share the call.
Smoke on it means
not the cigarette. I don't share cigarettes.
Smoke on it means ponder it. Doesn't mean actually smoke.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what are you going to do? You know?
Oh lordy. Interesting call, Nate. I appreciate it, man. And good for you for cutting down from a pack to just 5 a day, but just 5 is still quite a bit. It's better. A man is rich in the number of things he can afford to do without, said a wise man. And I've turned it into a cliche, or maybe it was a cliche before me. But
okay. Well, can I clear up one thing?
Clear your voice.
I am not prideful. I am grateful. I am grateful that I still am able to access menthol cigarettes in California for a cheap price. I am grateful that I'm able to get up and smoke a cigarette every morning. I just wanted you to know that. I'm not a prideful person, James.
Yeah, anything, all right. Maybe,
I'll
take your word for it, buddy.
Well, hey, James, maybe you need to do the silent prayer and check if you're projecting a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, fair enough.
You take care, man.
All right, great call, Nate. Call me again sometime.
Yeah, I'm calling Nick Stream, too. We're going to talk about some gamer stuff.
Right on. Let me know how it goes passing it up sometimes. I'm just curious.
All right. We'll talk again.
Okay.
All right.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Nate in California. People like, hang up. Doom Jesus. We're going to drive Doom Jesus to smoke. Thank you, Nate. I appreciate you, man. Seemed like you got a little defensive there. Was starting to feel like he had to brag about how he cut down from having a whole pack a day. 20 cigarettes a day? Anyway, thank you, man, Nate. Oh, I don't know if it was Nate with an H last name, H-word last name with a hard R. S. Please don't call Nick, says Lloyd, baby. Oh, is he the same guy I asked if he's Nate Higgers and he's not? Oh, maybe he's American native. He's American native. Oh, hey. Maybe he's smoking the American Indian cigarettes.
Americans got scammed. they smoke those, what are they called?
I'm blanking.
American Spirits or whatever?
Yeah, American Spirits.
They don't realize they're smoking reserves. Up in Canada, we know what that is.
Oh, is it from
the worst of the worst? Huh?
Is it reserves?
Reserve smokes.
Oh, yeah, but he's not American native, like a Native American. Like he's a real Native American, as in white. Shout out to Nate.
I came out here, people, like I was living with a actor, and he and his friends, they smoked those American Spirits, a brand of cigarettes.
Yeah,
and they're all like, "Yeah, it's so cool," and they're reserve smokes basically.
So it came.
I tried one. I admit it.
Like reservation.
Exactly.
Reservation.
In Canada, you go to the reserve and you buy them in bulk, and they're cheap, dirt cheap, but they're like cardboard.
Oh Lord. Well, I guess if you don't know any better, then you're Doing fine.
They called it organic. I'm like, it's still a cigarette, man. What are you doing?
Bill West says, hey, people used to smoke 5 packs a day when it was inexpensive. Whew. Let me get to Art in Ohio. On the line, this hour is blowing by. Art from Ohio. How you doing?
What's up with Hake?
Hey, good to hear from you.
Good morning on that west side and good afternoon in Ohio, brother.
Indeed, it is 12:42 or so in Ohio, I think.
What my white brother doing?
We're doing fine. I'm just doing the show, getting ready for a St. Patrick's Day interview with
That's cool.
JLP's new producer in the next hour.
I got a little song for you. The best part of waking up is Newports in your lungs.
Nice.
and tell Nick, I said, I want you and Nick to come here because y'all some Trump lovers, and I want to rip them pockets off both of y'all shirts.
What's that mean? Do you have a pocket on your shirt? Oh, he does have a side pocket. Oh,
Yeah,
no,
you
don't
do.
do that. I've never had that happen to me, but I can just picture it, and I feel like I would hate it.
I don't even know what that is.
Rip the pockets off your shirt.
I understood that, but
Yeah.
is it a thing? Like, I don't understand the culture.
This is a high school joke we had back in the day.
So you guys
But
would
you a
literally
Trump-
rip people's pockets off their shirts?
Nah, we'd just be clowning on each other with like you got a pocket on his shirt. Come
Right.
here, let me rip it off.
So you guys had cool bullies growing up. Everybody was soft.
Nah, you fresh, man. You fresh. You look mighty spiffy over there, sir.
Thank you. You talking to me or Nick
Yes,
or
sir.
both?
Both of y'all. I like both of y'all shirts. That's my style. I like both of y'all shirts. Y'all cool.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Nah, first thing first, I seen something where you was playing something on a show on Tuesday where the females was talking about they ain't know what a woman was, and they didn't want to offend nobody, and it's an agenda where
oh yeah,
the left female liberals they want to say it's my body, my choice, or say, oh, the men back in the day when we was getting married, they was abusive to us physically, mentally. Oh, we're sad and we don't want to cook. Oh, what am I, your slave? Why should I have to iron your clothes? Well, it's like with liberalism and your left thinking and whatnot, if you don't get married, especially in this recession and with this inflation or whatnot, and you first thing first, you're going to have a hard life because you're going to be working hard all your life and probably depending on any of your kids, if you have some, to be taking care of you. Second thing is, most of the females that ain't married or whatnot, or have somebody that they're with, they more than likely prostituting. You see what I'm saying? OnlyFans or whatnot. So my thing is, or pharmaceutical medicine to make them think that they feel good. So it's really liberalism. Liberalism really is a lose-lose thing. So they really don't understand that they're hurting themselves by pushing this agenda when they should be wanting to. Most of these females are single, like a lot of them females you just showed in that earlier clip, the transgender females.
Yeah.
And a lot of them females you were showing on Tuesday, none of them know how to cook. But y'all out here y'all want to be out here trying to march to kill babies. How about y'all? America want to take Newport cigarettes or menthol cigarettes and make you put a mask on your face. Why don't y'all make it mandatory that y'all make a lot of these females go and work out? Go to the gym and go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish your statement.
Yeah, go ahead. You need to go to the gym and take care of that body. So when Art gets behind the caboose or whatnot, I have some. Yeah. First thing first, especially y'all don't know how to cook, so why ain't y'all out here protesting to kill kids and marching for all this liberal stuff? Don't none of y'all know how to cook, so maybe that's what we need to be doing is making sure y'all know how to season food, season chicken, and season beef or whatnot, because that's what I'm finding out about a lot of y'all females. Y'all don't know how to dang on cook if your life depended on it. My second thing is,
that was Wednesday that we played that clip from the whatever podcast, the women not wanting to be transphobic, I think is what you're talking about, where they wouldn't define what a woman is.
Yeah, because they didn't want to offend the man, the transmission.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
So my thing is, if you think about it, this is another point. Females, they do all this complaining when everything is good. Then they advocate for something that they gonna end up turning around and not liking. Like you having these transmissions playing in female sports. Well, if all the men start playing in female sports and we start eliminating and doing y'all taking over the sports, like let's say WNBA, let's say the league is 90% transgender men, then guess what? You're out of a job.
Yeah.
And that's what will end up happening. Then guess what? You liberal females will come back around and say, oh, they're sexist. See how they like to beat on us? We can't even have our own sport because they all want to come over here and play. But see, this is what the Democrat and the liberals do. This is what y'all been supporting men, doing transgender shows in front of kids, raising your kids to be the Dorito boys and Tortilla boys or whatnot.
What's that mean? Maybe I shouldn't ask. What's that mean?
The Dorito boys and the Tortilla boys. That's the single parent kids or whatnot. Their moms didn't make them eat their spaghetti and their vegetables or whatnot. So they was like, my kid, he can go ahead and he can eat some Doritos for his lunch or whatnot. He'll be all right. Let him eat some tortillas. He'll be all right. He's cool. And then they grow up with them little skinny, scrawny arms, and the girls grow up and they got them truck driver booties, flat back and stuff. They ain't got no shape to their bodies or stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't think AOC is a tortilla girl because she definitely got a nice figure on her. So, what's up with that? What's up with them talking that stuff about Donald Trump calling Rob DeSantis what did he call him, a meatball head or something? Saying he was that he basically offended the Italians. Well, that's your opinion, man. And Donald Trump could pretty much say just about anything he want to say, and we not mad at nothing that he's saying or whatnot. We like him. That's why we like him, because he ain't part of the establishment. He came in or whatnot. He's a regular citizen. His family wasn't a whole bunch of politicians or whatnot. You know what I mean? He ain't. Who is that one dude who got captured? A Cheney, somebody like that. A Bush.
Oh, no, it's not Cheney. McCain.
He ain't McCain. And any other these career politicians got their kids coming up behind them after the parents served 30 years, like a Joe Biden, and then you come up, then your kids think they're gonna be politicians. He ain't a career politician, so that's why we like Trump, man.
Yeah,
and
who
that's
cares?
Another thing.
These phony, politically correct. I think the headline is Trump claims he will never call Ron DeSantis Meatball Ron. He said that.
Yeah.
He said. He would never call him Meatball Ron. It's probably too, what did he say? Too crude to describe DeSantis.
Yeah. You know what I love about a lot of these Americans, man, and the rhinos and the liberals and, because there ain't no real conservatives going to turn on you for just saying a small joke or whatnot.
Yeah, that's the liberal stuff.
Yeah. They too so quick to be like, oh, I wish Trump would be quiet. Why he just won't stay off the internet? If that's a reason to make you not like somebody or make you not want to vote for him, you didn't like the person from the jump, man. Yeah, I mean, people got to start showing some type of loyalty and some type of camaraderie. What's it called when you?
I think
you say?
I think you're right. Camaraderie.
Yeah, where you basically where you know what team you playing on or whatnot. You say one thing that they don't like, they just ready to jump on a whole different team. They ready to build these super teams like LeBron James, and try to win a championship when you don't even need all them people. If you're a good player and got some role players around you, you don't need all them people or whatnot. Just ready to jump ship, man. You got these people in America, man. They are betas. It don't got no loyalty, but hey, I'm gonna go ahead and I ain't gonna talk to you too much or whatnot. If you got anything to talk about, just ask me. But that's it. That's all I really had to say.
I appreciate it, Art. Thanks for the call, man.
Hey,
and thanks for the tips
rolling with Trump.
Thanks for the tips on Trump. Very interesting stuff. I'll tell the people about what he said after I hang up with you, man.
Yeah, but check this out. Hey, one more thing.
Yeah.
I mean, he might say something that I don't agree with or whatnot sometimes, but I'm not gonna jump shit, man. That's my man. I said that's my man, the Don Donald Trump, and that's what it's gonna be, and that's how I feel, and we're gonna roll with him till the wheels fall off.
I agree, man. Thank you, Art.
All right, buddy.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Take care.
All right.
He said, according to the far left, right? Daily Mail, are they pretty far? Yeah, I think they're pretty extreme. People call them conservative. They're not. Trump says Meatball Ron is too crude to describe DeSantis, but then goes after the Florida governor in Iowa for being a disciple of rhino loser Paul Ryan and compares him to unsuccessful presidential candidate Mitt Romney, also a rhino. He was talking to the Daily Caller, which is relatively center-left, sort of conservative, supposedly outlet, Daily Caller, formerly of Tucker Carlson's. I don't use that name. It is used by other people. I don't like that name. I think it's too crude, Donald Trump said about Meatball Ron, according to the Daily Caller. I'm a very non-crude individual, says our greatest president, Donald J. Trump. And I agree, Donald Trump. He opened up to reporters on Trump Force One. Trump Force One, that's his airplane. En route to Davenport, Iowa for his first 2024 campaign outing in the state. This was reported on the 13th of March. That was, I guess, earlier this week, Monday or something. During an appearance at the historic Adler Theater in downtown Davenport, Trump swatted DeSantis several times, telling the Iowa crowd the Florida governor was bad on ethanol, an important issue in the corn growing state, and wanted to cut Social Security and Medicare. You have to remember Ron was a disciple of Paul Ryan, whom I voted for. We thought he was a Tea Party guy, but it turns out he was a rhino and Irish. And also, he worked out for 4 hours a day, but didn't work it out for America. It's good to be healthy, but to be honest with you, Ron also reminds me a lot of Mitt Romney, Trump added. Cold stuff. Thank you for the tip on that. Artie Art from Ohio, the sundown town. There's sundown towns in Ohio. He may not be from Dayton, though. Some super chats for you guys before I get to the break. I have a long song for you, 9 minutes. On streamlabs.com/The Hake Report, Jordanos Star gave a generous super chat, saying the super chat is for the button-down shirt. Samson? Well, thank you, Delilah. No haircut for you today. Why is Speedy looking like Yeezy lately? Because he's sitting in that chair occupied normally by Hassan, whom we wish well and are praying for him, and he's fine. Donald Trump probably knows something that we don't about Ron DeSanctimonious. That's why he be after him. OnlyFans without the nudity is okay? Well, I heard that there was one guy. I mean, it depends on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to be all cover your ears, kids. I don't know if I can say, I don't want to say that word. If you're trying to be all, I don't want to say that word in front of the kids. I'm making me blush. But there's one guy who's been on the Jesse Lee Peterson show and the Fallen State. He was him and Lunel. He was supposed to debate Lunel, but he and Lunel got along just fine. His mama. What's that guy's name? He's been banned so many times. He's black. Talked about the Jews a little bit sometimes. Who's that guy? Can't believe I'm blanking on his name. Anyway, there's this black guy who's so banned on YouTube that he started an OnlyFans just to have his regular content. I don't even think that he does stuff like that. Tommy Sotomayor, thank you, Nicolas. Nick he finds it entertaining when I'm struggling. Yenrik Yagoda gave 3 coffees. Thank you, man. On buymeacoffee.com/The Hake Report. Hake, why are you dressed like average Mexican-American millennial? Beta, you need to be wearing polos or T-shirts. I know, man. It's the only green shirt that I have that I haven't worn to recently. All my other green T-shirts I wore to recently. Someone bought a coffee. Button down refers to the collar buttons. Oh yeah, these collars can button down, but I'm like, why there's a collar? Why is there a button on the corner of this collar? Is it supposed to be for, like, if I wear a tie with this shirt? Imagine wearing a tie with this shirt. I mean, some people might, and they probably pull it off quite well. And actually, I could imagine it looking fine, visualize it looking fine on me, which your shirt appears to have, but you didn't use, says someone. Thank you, someone. Yeah, see these buttons? Does that look goofy? I don't know. I'm not used to this dress-up stuff. But thank you, someone, and thank you, Yenrik Yagoda. And let me double-check over on Ko-Fi, Ko-Fi. Thank you, spoiler alert, for the support over there. Let's check over here on, let's check on odyssee.com/@The Hake Report. Asmodor with a couple of super chats. Anyone paying $10 to $12 for a pack of cigarettes and isn't a millionaire is a fool, says Asmodor. But you don't know what it's like living in California. But anyway, Nate, all shameless. If you only smoke 5 cigarettes a day, you should be able to quit easily, says Asmodor. Nice. Thank you for the super chats over there. Let me double check over on Rumble. What's up, Dennis's 2020? Let me check over on... Oh, yes, indeed. A few diamonds on D Live. Evgeny Crosby. Oh, no, hold on. Bill West gave a diamond, but I don't see it. What did Bill West say? Say something about my scrawny arms like DJ Onpaw said. Chat, tell me what Bill West said, and I'll have to get to it after the break. We're past time, in my opinion. I will get to calls, but I have a 9-minute song to share with you. This is Joanna Newsom from the 2006 album Yees, or Ease, Y-S. And Joanna Newsom is like the second cousin twice removed from Gavin Newsom, the beta governor of California. She's a child of liberals, and she's probably a liberal, probably not even a Christian. But she's a good harpist, and I like her singing, and I like her songs. And this is my favorite song from hers. And I don't know if she's Irish, but she used to play Celtic harps, or is it Celtic harps? That's Irish, right? And whatever, it's St. Patrick's Day. We're not going to force it too much, even though I already have. Yeah, press mute if you want. 9 minutes? I know. I'll be back to talk you through it. there. But it's so good. Oh, my goodness. If I have any goodness. Cover your ears or grin and bear it, you musical Philistines. I'll be right back. Here's Joanna Newsom. Monkey and Bear, right? Monkey and Bear. Enjoy, and be right back.
Down in the green hay, where monkey and bear usually lay, they woke from a stable boy's cry. Said, someone come quick, the horses got loose, got grass sick. They'll flounder, faint, they'll die. What is now known by the sorrel and the roan, by the chestnut and the bay and the gelding gray. It is stay by the gate that you are given, and remain in your place for your season. And had the overfitted but listen to the high fence, more sense, wisdom. Did you hear that bear? Said monkey will get out of here fair a furnace full of love that's just and earnest. Now you know that we must unlearn this allegiance to a life of service and no longer answer to that heartless haymonger nor be his accomplice. The charlatan with artless hardest thing, but Ursula, we've got to eat something and learn our keep while still within the borders of the land that men has girded, all double bolted and tight-fisted until we reach the open country, steeped in milk and honey. Will you keep your fancy clothes on for me? Can you bear a little longer to wear that leash, my love? I swear by the air I breathe, sooner or later you'll bare your teeth. But for now, just dance, darling. Come on, will you dance, my darling?
Isn't this nice?
Darling, there's a place for us. Can we go before I turn the dust?
Testosterone dropping.
My darling, there's a place for us.
So good.
Oh, darling, come on, will you dance? My darling, oh, the hills are groaning with excess, like a table ceaselessly being set. Oh, my darling, we will get there yet.
So good. The beginning I didn't like, but the whole rest of the song is awesome.
They troop past the guards, past the coops and the fields and the farmyards, all night till finally the space they gained grew much farther and the stone not bare through to mark where they'd stop for tea.
I don't know what she's singing about.
Walk a little faster and don't look backwards. Your feast is to the east, which lies a little past the pasture. And the blackbirds hear to whistle and then rise and clap. And their applause calls the kettle black. And we can't have none of that.
No, it is not so good, hey.
Long bear there, that's that. Go cast in plaster. Our Ursula's heart beat faster than monkeys ever will.
I can't imagine ever listening to this. This is Bad Hombre 76.
Still, they had got to pay the bills, hadn't they? That is what the monkeys say. So, with the courage of a clown or a cur or a kite jerking tight at its tether, in her dun brown gown of fur and a jerkin of swan's down and leather, there would sway on her hind legs the organ, would grind dregs of song for the pleasure of the children who'd shriek, throwing coins at her feet and recoiling in terror. Sing, dance, darling, come on, will you dance, my darling? Oh, darling, there's a place for us. Can we go before I turn the dust? Oh, my darling, there's a place for us.
How can you not like this?
Oh, darling, come on, will you dance, my darling? You keep your eyes fixed on the highest hill where you'll ever after eat your fill. Oh, my darling, dear mine, if you dance.
Those melodies.
Dance, darling, and I love you still.
You got a melancholy heart, James. I officially hate music now.
Deep in the night shone a weak and miserly light where the monkey shouldered
3 more
his
minutes.
lamb. Someone had told him the bear had been wandering a fair
So catchy.
Someone had told him the bear had been sneaking away to the seaside caverns to bathe. And the thought troubled the monkey, for he was afraid of spelunking down in those caves. Also afraid what the village people would say if they saw the bear in that state.
Nice white folk music.
And splashing obscenely, well, it seemed irrational, really, washing that face. Washing that matted and flea bit, pelting some sea spit, shine old kelp dripping with brine.
Dang.
The monkey just laughed and he muttered, when she comes back, Ursula will be bursting with pride. Till I jump up, saying you've been rolling in muck, saying you smell of garbage and grime.
So cool.
But far out, by now, by now. Garters. Then the outside arms of the bear fell off as easy as if slough from boiled tomatoes.
It's complex and fascinating. I agree.
And with this eye, she allowed the bird in the belly to drop.
Is this a new interrogation technique?
If you could hold up a threadbare coat to the light where it's worn translucent in places, you'd see spots where almost every night of the year there'd been Mondays suspending that baseless. Now a coat drags through the water, bagging with a light.
Chinese torture.
Limitless minnows in the magnetic embrace, balletic and glacial, the bear's insatiable shadow.
Wow.
Left there, one bear, left there, left there.
Shout out to the ladies.
Step clear of the bear.
Women's history. Sounds like Amy Winehouse off crack. That's not true. Take it back. She stole this from Wizard of Id. Is that a bad thing? Hey, is this a joke? Perfect video for this soundtrack, too. Beta History Month 2, says Satan. Well, thank you guys for bearing with me through that. Beautiful music. That was my favorite track from Joanna Newsom. I heard about her from like the Christian music forums, even though she's not Christian, I don't think. No, she's not related to Gavin McInnes. It's Gavin Newsom. But I sometimes confuse the two because they're both called Gavin. Bjork ripoff, Hake. Nah, she got her own thing. That's why I love her. I don't like Bjork. Bjork. Well, thank you guys for bearing with me through that. You know, it is St. Patrick's Day. Let me get to a call first, and then I'll have my my guest come in. Devon in San Diego, California is on the line. It's actually DEVON, though. I said Devon again. How you doing, DEVON?
Oh, man, it's okay. Hey, man, I'm doing good. How about yourself, man?
Doing fine. Appreciate it. Thanks for holding.
I was going to say, man, was I supposed to be able to hear you talking while the music was on?
Yeah, could you hear me talking under it, or was it kind of quiet?
No, I could just hear, faintly every once in a while you were saying stuff, because I was like, what is this song? And I heard you say something like, I don't know what she's saying in this song. And I just started laughing.
Right. Yeah, it was not a hot mic. It was on purpose.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes I try to talk over it, but I'm not sure how it comes out.
No, it was decent enough. It
nice.
was decent enough.
Right on.
I just wasn't sure. I was like, man, did they leave something on or something?
How'd you like that track?
It was interesting.
Yeah.
Different.
Good.
Kind of makes me think of like a folklore, like Hobbity, Scotland, Ireland, kind of, I don't know, something like a mixture of all those things. I don't know, man. It was different, though.
Right on. And I didn't even really pick it specifically for St. Patrick's Day, who is the saint,
kind of went
patron saint of
of
Ireland. But yeah, it goes. But anyway.
Man, you don't even know who St. Patrick is, hey?
Yeah, I don't. I do not. I read about him a couple of times here and there. I'm going to bring in an Irishman on after I hang up with you. I'm going to bring on a guest in the studio for a few minutes.
Oh, okay, then.
But I don't know if he knows anything about St. Patrick either, to be honest.
Well, I know my bloodline, I got a little bit of bloodline that goes from Scotland.
Oh, really?
My great on my father's side, which, and if you've seen him, you'll be like, what? He got white on his side? And
right.
I'll be like, yo.
Nice.
But yeah, he's my great-great-great-grandfather's from Scotland.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right on.
On my
Blakeney side,
the Blakeney side of my family.
Okay. What does that mean?
Yep.
Blakely. What did you say? Blakely side?
Blakeney. That's my grandmother's side of my dad's mother's side of the family. They're Blakeney. Blakeney. They've migrated from, I think, from Virginia or something. They migrated down from Virginia to the Carolinas.
Is that an ethnicity or a surname, like a last name?
Surname.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. But what's going on today on the hate report, man? Did you talk anything about the California tiny homes?
The tiny homes? The California tiny homes? No, I have not.
Yeah.
I didn't even know about that. Is that the homeless stuff?
Yeah, they already I think the first sit is going to be in Sacramento. They already signed something. I don't know if it was yesterday. I know Gavin Newsom signed something or did something for the whole state, and now basically each city, Sacramento, San Jose, what else did they say? LA, San Diego, that they're all going to be doing it, but they're going to have the city is going to be in control of them. So basically, the city is going to have to keep up with the upkeep and, I guess, security or whatever they're going to have there. Because pretty sure a lot of the people that get in these homes are going to be people that I see walking through the streets with their pants, no pants on, naked, and falling asleep, just standing up on whatever drugs they're on. I'm like, man, this is they just going to make the situation worse, which I would have expected, but. It's like people just, I don't know, man. I just try not to even think about it. I just think it's funny.
Right.
Every once in a while I try to talk about it, though.
Are you having to deal with a lot of homeless down in San Diego?
Oh, man, can I tell you a story about a situation I had with one of them?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, I had one of my friends, he works downtown. He works at different restaurants and stuff downtown. So I had picked him up, and we're just kind of joyriding around. I was going to drop him off at his next job before I went back during that time, I was Uber driving. And so we're driving, and it was getting pretty late. The sun was going down, and I'm waiting at the light. And, as soon as the light turns green, I'm like, okay, let me go. And I'm noticing there's somebody in the middle of the road, so I'm like, whoa, I didn't even see the guy, so I just had enough time to stop. And the guy was, yelling at me, and my friend was like, hey, man, get out of the road. Like, you're in the middle of the street. You're not even walking across the crosswalk.
Yeah.
So he comes up to the door, my friend's side on the passenger side, and starts yelling at him. And we was like, dude, you need to just get away from the car and, get on the sidewalk. So finally, he walked to the sidewalk, but then I noticed he was messing with because they have some security guards out there by the homeless where they have the porta potties.
Yeah.
Then he started messing with the security guard lady. So I was like, man, I knew the guy was really drunk, and I just didn't, the security guard lady, even though she's a security guard, I just was like, man, I was like, dang, man, we got to at least, get this guy to get away from him, man, because we kind of got him riled up. So we just kind of stopped the car and told the guy to just leave. Like, you need to just go ahead and go somewhere. But yeah, man, it's hectic, man. Like, I don't even want to take my daughter downtown, man, just because, I've seen people, defecating on the streets right there in front of everybody, like they don't care. I've seen this lady just walk around, like half of her pants were pulled down, just walking down. I'm just like, man, this is. I mean, I grew up sometime in San Diego when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I don't really remember too much of that time period. You know, I was video games and toys, but
nice.
Now just moving back after several years, man, it's really disappointing, man. It really is, man. It's like, oh man.
I agree.
I understand how the world is.
But
I understand how the world is.
Yeah, true. It's a shame though because there's some really nice spots to go in LA and San Diego and elsewhere, but they're turning it into trash and blight and smelly and, like you said, people with their pants down and leaving human waste, not good stuff, everywhere on the ground where you have to watch where you step and you have to watch where you go, and it makes you not even want to. It's killing businesses, and it's killing like the life of the city, and it's all like that mama spirit. And you're right, they're like yelling at us like we're wrong when we get in their way, but they're the ones in the way. Some of them are better than others. Some of them clean up after themselves and clean up the area, but a lot of them are just trashy people, and they don't need to be like that. It doesn't have to be this way. But you're right. That's the world. The world is evil. And it's get used to disappointment, as one line from a movie says, which is a good advice.
You're right about that mama spirit, man.
Yeah. Just enabling people to be bums, literally bums, and worse, really, criminals.
I actually have a personal story, man. My older brother, he's LGBT, all of that stuff. And he went on a downward spiral, man. And
yeah,
I've told my mom always babied him, man, and he's older than me.
Yeah.
And I told her, this is, I hate to tell you, but the truth is you part of the problem, and the more that you help him, he's not going to get any better.
Right.
You just got to let him go through whatever he's going through until he's ready to move on from his situation.
Right.
Because my sister and my mom, they try to help him and stuff, and I don't, the only help I'll do for him, if he needs, in the past, if I give him a ride or whatever, but most of the time I give him a ride so I can try to talk to him and try to show him, like, hey, man, there's more out here and there's more for you in this life that if you want it, you can get it, but you just got to get away from what you're doing. He's been through his situations. He's had his little tears and emotions and stuff. He'll talk to me, but he knows what my mindset is. So, and I've said it in the past, man. I wrote a paper in college, man, that talking about stuff like this, and my teacher gave me a C, man, and now I'm like, man, I should have got an A+, man, because everything I was talking about is coming true.
Yeah, that's funny. Teachers are so liberal. What a shame.
Liberal colleges, man.
Yeah.
Now I realize what it is, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, hate, man. Just want to give you another call, man. I'm happy I got back in with you, man, and hopefully some of your other callers can get on, man.
Nice.
I ain't gonna hang up the phone on you quick this time, man, so that way it don't make that click.
Oh, no worries. Appreciate it, Devon. Thank you. Take care.
You have a good one.
All right, you too. Bye. Hey, Sean, come on in here. Well, I got to bring him in. This is going to be my in-studio Irishman guest. He's wearing a complementary color to green. He's wearing a red. He's kind of like a lime green, yellow in there.
Oh, yeah.
See? He forgot what he's wearing.
Neon.
Sean, you're Irish, aren't you?
I am third Irish.
1/3. Okay, that counts. Kind of like Joel Friday's 30% white.
Right. Half Irish, half English, half Finnish.
Nice.
It's
a lot of halves. I like that math. You're Finnish. Okay, I can see some Finnish in you. And English.
Yep.
That all makes sense.
Finnish, Swedish kind of mix.
Okay.
Irish on my mom's side.
And, I figured that it was on your mom's side because that's how I know any of my ancestry or my heritage or whatever is through my mother and her mother and then my dad's mother. The fathers, like they're more of a mystery.
Yeah, the women are much more interested in that.
Exactly.
Get that identity from it.
Exactly. Isn't that interesting that and you'll notice the cultures who are all into their identity are the most female-minded cultures and just the worst off. I mean, granted, the whites are not that into it, but the whites are really bad off right now. And the whites are getting sucked into this type of getting into heritage.
Yeah. Well, Ancestry.com,
I know,
that does it. All that marketing.
Giving away your DNA information.
Yeah,
You ever done that?
Yeah.
You have? Dang.
Yep. Well, I shouldn't say that. My parents did it.
Oh, okay.
So they both did it. So I got just,
that's how you
mixed
know?
up the percentages, and I knew third is how it sort of panned out.
Okay.
But we're sort of culturally Irish. Like that's what we identify with. We're sort of culturally Irish Catholic. We don't consider ourselves English or Swedish or Finnish, that's for sure.
Okay.
But yeah.
Do you know anything about your history in America?
Yeah, we all came, the big wave of Irish that came into New York City in the 1890s through Ellis Island.
Was that the potato famine?
I believe so, yeah, or soon after that. I think the potato famine was in like the middle 1800s.
Oh, okay.
Totally sure, so sometime after that.
Okay. After they got rid of slavery, was there still indentured servanthood?
In Ireland?
No, in America. Because we had slavery in America, and we enslaved a lot of Irish. I say we, like I was involved. And a lot of Irish were so-called slaves, indentured servants, I heard.
I didn't know that.
In America,
oh,
yeah.
I thought indentured servitude came before slavery in America. Like
maybe it did.
During the, Puritans.
It might well have.
Yeah.
Were we enslaving the Irish as indentured servants back then?
I mean, I do know in New York City, the Irish and the blacks were both at the bottom of the scale.
Right.
They were the lowest of the low, especially Irish Catholics.
And that's even in the 1900s, right?
Right. And, the Irish Protestants in New York hated the Irish Catholics.
Interesting.
And they were sort of pushed down lower and lower and lower.
Yeah.
On my mom's side, the Westies in New York, the Irish mob.
Okay.
That's sort of very distant, but on my mom's side, that's kind of the kind of people we come from, are those Irish.
Wow. So the Irish criminals, mob.
Right.
Wow.
The Mulligans, Huey Mulligan is a famous Irish, New York mobster. Mickey Spillane, those kind of guys. And the Italians, they were brutal, So the Italians, when they wanted to get rid of a body, they would go to the Irish.
And the Irish would take care of it for them.
They knew the Irish would know how to take care of
them. Oh,
them.
my goodness.
Pretty gruesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know anything about St. Patrick's Day.
Okay.
I don't know who St. Patrick was. I just know that growing up, it was a way to celebrate Irish culture and drink your face off.
Even as a kid?
Yeah. Every year. Every year we celebrated it.
How young were you, if you don't mind my asking?
No,
I don't know
please.
if this is too...
Please.
How young were you drinking?
Oh, no. I was a late starter.
Okay.
I didn't do any...
Until like 11?
Any sort of substance.
So like 11?
No. Yeah, right. 17, 18.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
really,
still
really,
pretty young.
Really sort of 18.
That's still underage.
That proves your point.
Right.
Me considering it young is 18.
But some countries, that's fine, right? Some countries, they say 18 or 16 or 15.
Well... If you're not getting
excessive,
right? If the culture doesn't think of it as like taboo,
right,
then rebellious kids won't want to do it more. If you introduce it to them early, there's arguments to be made. If you introduce it to them earlier, or at least not think of it as a big deal,
right?
Then they won't have that need to be rebellious and do it all the time. And
that's true. It's just like with guns. JLP got his first gun at 15, I think, a rifle.
Yeah,
and he went outside and shot a squirrel. They start them early on gun handling,
right?
And they have their fathers and mothers, or at least grandfathers and grandmothers.
Yeah, same here with the guns.
Trained with respect and self-control.
Yep.
And they didn't have mass murders and stuff like that.
Nope.
People on their SSRIs and stuff like that.
Yep. Dad gave us our first knives when we were like 5, 6, 7 years old.
Wow.
Awesome. Got our first, playing with them. Just got your first bad cut at that age too. You learn your lesson pretty quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
But same. I heard in Europe, underage pregnancies are less because sex over there is, I don't know if I will say that, but is less taboo. You know,
Okay.
it's just sort of open out in the open.
Right.
You know, that's something I don't know for sure. I don't want to confirm that, but
yeah,
this
I've
is what I
heard stuff. I've heard arguments on that, and I think that the Puritan culture. I don't know if it's Puritan, but the sort of mama culture,
right,
was they went overboard with the no sex before marriage stuff, and they went overboard with perhaps maybe the prohibition, because it was women I heard who did the prohibition on no drinking.
Man,
in
that's
America.
a whole nother story.
And that's sort of like that, right?
Yeah.
Like it was not the fatherly kind of, this is wrong, stay away from it, or type of a thing, to where, the scaring people.
I mean, that, as far as parenting goes, that's the difference between positive reinforcement and negative reinforcement. Positive reinforcement is proven to work 10 times better. For example, if you say, let's say your kid keeps, I don't know, losing their keys to their first car, and you say, don't lose your keys to your car, that automatically puts in their head, lose keys to the car. But if you say, I want you to be more careful with your keys, then it automatically puts in their head, be more careful.
Be alert. They give you solutions rather than problems.
Right. So if you're constantly negative, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, all that does is keep those things in their brain and in their head.
Fear.
Negative reinforcement. But positive reinforcement,
be sober.
Right. Noticing when they
be
do
sober-minded, be alert.
Making sure you notice when they do a good job, as opposed to just always pointing out the negative.
Interesting.
Is, from what I hear, I've never been a parent, but from what I hear, saying things like, I want you to be more patient, I want you to be more careful, as opposed to saying, don't do this,
Okay.
Is
wow.
much better. But
was your community around you that you grew up, was it a lot of Irish, or was it Hispanics and blacks and Asians, or was it everybody? But there were Irish too.
Not as many blacks, a lot of Hispanics, and a lot of Asians.
Okay.
My high school was like 50% Asian, 40% Asian, something like that. Mostly Korean.
Is this in New Jersey, New York, or
North Jersey, Bergen County? Some blacks, but mostly Hispanics and a lot of Asians.
Man,
love the Asians.
Yes, we
shout out to the Asians.
Yeah, we cherish Asians.
But mostly Korean and Japanese. Okay. Not so many Chinese. As far as Hispanics, mostly like, Venezuelans, like Ecuador, or just whatever those Honduran. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably some Mexicans.
For me, it was mostly Chinese and Mexicans.
Oh yeah.
That I grew up around.
Yeah.
You're tall. Is that because of the Finnish and Swedish?
Probably.
Those people are the tallest.
I got my rest a lot when I was a kid too.
Nice. You didn't stunt your growth.
I grew horizontally.
Nice.
Gravity didn't get to me.
Right. And you didn't stunt your growth with weightlifting like some of these young kids do.
I did not. Probably obvious from my stature.
And you have a family, if you don't mind my asking, about your family is full of, or was, four generations of theater stage hands.
That's right. New York City, the union there, local one. One of my great uncles, or my dad's great uncle, something like that, was the founder of, or one of the founders of that union.
Wow.
So my dad's dad, all my dad's brothers.
Does that mean he was a socialist?
I mean,
maybe.
I don't know for sure, but at that time, that might have been normal to.
Right.
Before people found out about it, it might have been normal to have that sort of political leaning.
Exactly. Yeah, and there's like a lot of people who, like, there's like a lot of America-loving union guys who are just normal.
I know.
They love Trump.
I know. And
they may fall for Biden sometimes if they're real suckers.
I mean, I don't know too much about it, but as far as I know, the difference between private sector unions and public sector unions.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as public sector workers start unionizing, it goes wrong just really quickly.
Oh, okay.
And I know I was in it's a private organization.
Right.
All the theaters. But I do know from experience that working in a union encourages, I'm not speaking about any union specifically here.
Right.
But
just in
generally, union work encourages that type of behavior where, it's called the union pause, where you're getting paid by the hour. You end up talking a lot about what you're supposed to be getting paid, You end up talking a lot about what your rights are.
Right.
Not too much doing good work just for the sake of doing good work.
Right.
Just for the sake of doing well. And so, nothing against any specific unions, but but
it's kind of a spoiling effect.
Right. Everyone just talks about their wage all day long.
That's interesting.
What are we supposed to be getting paid? What are our rights?
Right.
And encourages a lot of.
That's not very manly.
Complaining, and they call it the union pause.
The union pause.
When the boss comes in and says, this is the plan, we're going to do this, and everyone just goes, oh, okay, well, let's just go over here and do this a little bit first. Let's do this. Let's take our time. We're getting paid by the hour.
Wow.
So, but as far as my experience in that union and doing that kind of work,
it
was
stagehand.
It was a time in my life where I working with my hands.
Yeah, that's
was
cool.
Very beneficial for me. It felt great to work with my hands all day long. I know a lot of people don't like it, especially if they've been doing it for years and years and years.
Yeah.
But yeah, working with my hands at that time for 5 or 6 years straight.
Yeah, I liked manual labor when I did it.
Yeah.
I liked not having to do it too. But I worked on a stage one time for like a few months out of a year because my piano teacher, like in 2005 or so, had a showing of a show called Pilgrim, and I actually, with my orange shorts, show up in like a little news report.
Nice.
A plug on it.
Nice.
A plug about it on YouTube somewhere. But at the Ricardo Montalban Theater, and I worked with the stagehand guys. I was actually on stage moving this thing that was like on wheels, spinning this rotating set that was sort of welded and snapped together.
Yeah.
And it was interesting. It reminded me of like 7th and 8th grade chorus. I was in chorus in 7th and 8th grade. We would sing and do like Scrooge.
Yeah, I was on
stuff
stage
like that.
too, yeah.
And it was fun. But it was also like a lot of work. I would get up when it was dark, drive out to L.A., drive home late at night, go to sleep, get up, drive back out there.
Yeah.
That's when I ate my burger with everything on it, and I didn't complain. And I just choked. I'm like, this is edible. I'm going to eat the Thousand Island, the pickles, the ketchup, mayo, whatever else they put on it.
Right.
And I successfully ate it.
Nice.
The stage boss bought burgers for everybody.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Mayonnaise and everything. Pickles.
Never do it again, probably, but because I'm so spoiled. But
yeah, I didn't grow up around a lot of. My family was very Irish.
Right.
Edgewater is the town I'm originally from, and my parents grew up there since they were born, and their parents moved there during their life at some point.
Yeah.
And in 1950s, 60s, Edgewater, it's right on the Hudson across from New York City, right south of the George Washington Bridge there on the river.
Uh-huh.
And 1950s, 60s, there was 2,000 people there, 3,000 people. Factory town, huge families, a lot of Italians, Irish. Now there's 15,000 people there. It's a mile and a half long, half a mile wide, and like I said, a lot of Koreans mostly in North Jersey around these days.
Yeah.
But
that's that 1965 Immigration Act, I think.
Right.
Where they brought in all those people.
Right.
And said, we won't change the racial makeup, and surely they did.
Because from 1920 to 1950 or 60, they only took. It was proportionate to the amount of people that were already here as far as per ethnicity.
Okay.
But they only took like 2% of the amount of people that were here per ethnicity, so they were taking the best of the best.
Yeah.
And 1950s, 60s, that all changed.
Man. I was going to say something. Man, what a shame.
Yeah. But as far as...
I remember what I was going to say. Go ahead with your point.
I was going to introduce a whole new thing, so go ahead.
Okay. So we thought that we had it bad with the Irish and the Italians. Now we have all these POCs invading.
But, a lot of Irish and Italian Catholics.
Yeah.
It's that Catholicism.
It's true. And then the mobs and the mafia.
Yeah,
wow.
Especially in North Jersey,
Terrible.
Sopranos territory.
Man. What was that subject you were going to bring up?
Oh, the Irish. Irish are well known for their writing,
Okay.
James Joyce, W.B. Yeats, Oscar Wilde, a lot of great Irish writers in the past.
Interesting. I did not know that.
So they're known for their, command of language and.
Is it creative writing or is it history or both, or just like poetry and wisdom?
Yeah, poetry and fiction.
Okay.
And wisdom and sort of wit.
Okay.
Irish wit. There's a lot of
True.
stereotypes about the Irish. Some of them not so good. As the great Joe Biden once said, I may be Irish, but I'm not stupid.
That's funny, man.
But yeah, so what I was going to say about the writing is that you heard the Blarney Stone at the castle in Ireland. You go and kiss the Blarney Stone, and it gives you the gift of gab.
Okay.
I don't think they're doing it anymore, but I did take a trip to Ireland once before COVID.
Yeah.
Well, way before COVID. And so...
Was it pretty?
It was beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful, just very simple living.
Okay.
The weather is great.
Which Ireland? Is it North Ireland or just Ireland?
Yeah, so the South Ireland is
Okay.
the Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland is the Protestant English type of Ireland.
Oh, so it's part of England.
Yeah, they still have that big divide.
Okay.
And South Ireland is more like traditional Ireland. I don't know too much about that political divide, but it is still in existence. And so they say the Irish are immune to psychotherapy.
Oh, really?
That's one of the stereotypes. One of the things out there is that the Irish are immune to the talking cure, psychotherapy.
Good for them.
Because of their command of language.
I've heard that.
And you have?
I feel like I've heard something like this.
Yeah, because it's not a sarcasm necessarily, but it's just a way of communicating where they say the exact opposite of what they're feeling.
Oh, really?
Just a way of their humor is just constant. You never know if they're joking or not.
Right.
Their wit.
I might have that.
Right. Right. It's a gift.
Because there is an Irishman in my family tree, so I might be a little bit Irish myself.
You definitely look Irish today. That's for sure.
Thank you, I guess.
I don't know.
A lot of Scottish look like this, though, I think. I heard.
Yeah, no, definitely more. Yeah, you could definitely pull off Scottish as well.
Right. And I have some English in me and other things.
Yep.
Nice, man. Who knew that they were good at beating the psychotherapists? Those are the high IQ unchristian people who push that, right?
I mean, the Irish, it might just also be them not knowing themselves very, very well, not being in touch with their own,
Oh, so they stay mentally ill and they can't get better.
Yeah, very divorced from reality, very separated from their own, psyche.
Saying they stay mentally ill, that's sort of black. I shouldn't have said that.
Stay ill.
Yeah. Interesting, man. Well, I appreciate it. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you.
Thank you very much.
Even though neither of us know anything about St. Patrick.
No.
Do you want to look at St. Patrick? Here's some pictures of him, and then we'll get back to callers. Hang tight, callers. Here's some, I think I have some pictures of him. Let's see here. You might not have that, Hake. St. Patrick's Day. Okay, so he was not actually Irish, according to CNN, which I already knew that. I heard, anyway. And here he is on stained glass. Thank you again, man. Preaching to the Druids, I guess. Preaching to the... Oh, here. Just plow through all these. There he is preaching on stained glass windows, because he's in churches, because he's a patron saint for the Irish. Preaching to the... Those are rich-looking kings. Who knew the Irish were well off? I guess he's preaching to the Druids or something. In the Chicago River, they dye it green. It looks natural, to be honest. Looks natural. There's St. Patrick with a... That's very nice ink drawing. That's cool. Somebody said that he was Welsh, not Roman British. Here's another one of him holding the 3-leaf clover, the shamrock thing that's supposed to be for the Trinity. Oh, Lord. But that's probably still better than this being Catholic and all this stuff and the Trinity stuff. There's another one with him looking a little bit more realistic. Oh, fancy. I think this is still better than the Druids because I heard, according to Caesar, one of the Caesars, the Druids were doing sacrifice. They were doing human sacrifices. And sometimes of innocent people. Oh, look at this. Oh, go further down. Okay, so there, you can go to the next one. You can go just kind of in order. There's a little St. Patrick's Day card from the early 1900s, I think it was. 1907. With a pretty little girl. The wearing of the green. And then this one is awful. 18th century illustration of a wicker man, the form of execution that Caesar wrote that the Druids used for human sacrifice. From the Duncan Caesar, Thompson, Draper, and Dodsley edition of Commentaries of Caesar, translated by William Duncan, published 1753. Any relation to Burning Man, asks Nick. Maybe. Who knows? But look, there's like people inside of this tall man thing, and they're setting it on fire. Tall man-shaped cage thing with people inside of it with their arms and legs sticking out of it. Terrible. Horrific. And then what is with these Irish? I didn't tell Sean this. I didn't have the nerve. But the Irish are like the Mexicans of the whites. No, I would have told him that, but I forgot. Because look at their flag. Doesn't that look like the Mexican flag? I think that's the Irish flag. And this is in Berlin. No, Moscow. Moscow. Is that Germany? Is Moscow Germany? Sean says, so true. Both hard workers. That's not what I meant. But yeah, that's true too, I guess. They do some work. So anyway, right on, you guys. Looks like the Indian flag too, says Nick. Looks like a faded Mexican flag. Because they both drink. Anyway. Thank you guys for bearing with me through that. St. Patrick, the patron saint, whatever that means, to Ireland. He felt called to go back to Ireland. He was a slave. He was captured and kidnapped, allegedly, by Irish pirates. And Ireland was mostly Druids back then. Which Druid? I don't know what it is. It's pagan or something. And he escaped. He was a shepherd slave boy. And then he escaped. And then he felt called by God to go back and preach. And he drove all the snakes off the island of Ireland, according to legend. Nice. Just like Hake lets the snakes stay in the snake pit. Wow, Hake, no. Moscow is not in Germany. Moscow is the capital and largest city of Russia, says Geronimo. That's what I thought. I thought that that's what it was. Oh, man, can you open the door? It's getting hot in here again. Sean, with his habit of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show and Joel Friday TV, closes the door, but we leave it open for Hake. Yeah, Moscow, Russia. Russia, Germany, same thing. Communist, capitalist, communist, Nazi, same thing. No. He drove the snakes from Ireland, quote unquote. But I leave the snakes in the snake pit, and sometimes they call into the show. Speaking of, let me get to John in Kentucky. John in Kentucky, how you doing, man? Happy St. Patrick's Day to you.
Don't call me a snake, boy.
Don't call me boy. Snake.
Hey, man, we don't celebrate white people's holiday. That's the whitest holiday you're going to get.
I thought that St. Patrick was black.
Is he?
No, I don't know.
Okay, then. Because I was going to go into that because I heard something about black Irishmen that's erased from y'all's history books.
Haven't we all?
But, man, we don't got a lot of time.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you tell me your take on 1 John 5 and 3?
Can you recite it from me from heart?
Paraphrase.
Yeah.
The love of God is to keep his commandments. If you want to show God you love him, you have to keep his commandments.
And his commands
Do you believe that?
And his commands are not burdensome.
Or not grievous.
Grievous.
KJV, yeah.
And King James was black. Right?
Yeah, man. You know your history.
Right. I know.
You know your history.
I know what they say anyway. I don't know if it's written down, but I know the urban legend.
But look, what I'm getting to.
Yes.
What I'm getting to is, I believe I'm an Israelite. You don't believe it, but do you believe that I believe I'm an Israelite?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I believe that. Why wouldn't I believe that you believe that? Yeah.
I don't know, because, that's how the devil is. But don't you know that we're the only people whose history matches up with the Israelites in the Bible? Like, it matches up. No other people match up with the history.
How do you know that?
That's why because, I know a little bit about history, and I know a little bit about the Israelites, and I know what they went through, and I know what we went through, and it matches up. It doesn't match up with y'all, the Irish people.
How do you
it
know
doesn't
that?
match up with Chinese people, because I know history a little bit.
But stuff that's written down, and so are you thinking American slavery is the same thing as Egyptian slavery?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So America was Egypt, or what are you thinking? What is that in your mind?
Similarities.
Okay, so it happened again. So it happened to you guys
man.
in Egypt, and it happened again in America?
Yes.
But doesn't mean it matches up. It just means that that's human nature. Isn't
all
it
the
human?
Prophecies,
okay, so like,
all the prophecies match up to us. That's all I'm saying. They don't match up to y'all, and they definitely don't match up to those fake Jews over there in Israel right now. And did you know the Bible's? Because did you know the Bible said when God comes back and puts Israel back into their homeland, that it would be peace on earth, and there's no peace on earth right now. So that's how you know they're the fake Jews.
Say that again?
Did you know that?
Repeat that one more time.
God said when he comes back and puts the Jews back in their homeland of Israel, then there would be peace on earth. If they were the real Jews, then why isn't there peace on earth right now?
Because God didn't do it, man did it.
Right. There you go.
But that doesn't mean that they are or are not the real Jews or fake Jews.
God is going to put the real Jews back in Israel, and then there's going to be peace on earth.
But I think you're jumping.
That's why World War III has to happen. And a lot of y'all have to be, you know what's going to happen.
Right, with the wars.
Yeah,
so
a lot of y'all going to die and stuff.
So I think you're jumping to conclusions about what you're reading.
No, I'm not, man. It just makes sense. I tried the Christian thing. That didn't work out. That just didn't make sense.
A lot of people, it doesn't make sense to a lot of people. And
it doesn't. It's made up from y'all.
But same thing with you.
No, I believe the Bible to be true.
You know what's written about by the Israelites with them falling away and then returning to God and then falling away and returning to God and getting spoiled and then trying to be serious and repent. That's human nature. That applies to everybody. It's that parallel. Anybody can relate to that.
All right. So when God told the Israelites to keep His commandments, or that He would punish them, did He put y'all into slavery for 400 years?
I don't know. I was never a slave physically.
Did He make y'all serve y'all's enemies in a foreign land?
Our land is becoming foreign.
That's because it's not really your land. You know, there's a lot of similarities, but you won't admit to it because it just makes too much sense for you.
It doesn't make too much sense for me. It doesn't make too much sense at all.
Yes, it does. Hey.
No, and the whites are not your enemies. The whites are your best friends.
No, the whites are our enemies.
How so?
Why do you think y'all had us in slavery?
That doesn't make us your enemy. That makes us your master. That doesn't make us your enemy. Your master is not your enemy. Your master is not your enemy.
Why do you think we have y'all's last names?
Because we made you Christian.
That's oppression.
That's not oppression.
It is oppression when you take our name, you take our language, and you give us your last name, and you make us have to go from generation to generation wearing y'all's names. That's oppression.
No, it's not. Wear it with honor.
Man,
it's an honor.
Well, look, you know everything's gonna happen to y'all that happened to us, right? So y'all gonna have our names.
That's ridiculous. And
You know that?
All you have is sour grapes and like a malicious, vengeful spirit. It's
No,
ridiculous.
I'm just telling you what the Bible says. That's gonna happen.
No, you're all excited about it. It's not just what the Bible says. You're not.
You're
not.
Cleave.
You're saying you're not
passionate.
passionate. You're just saying you're not passionate about this whole Israelite thing. You're not passionate at all.
I'm passionate about my culture. Jesse tried to ask me that the other day. He tried to ask me that. I know that's why you said passionate.
No, that's not why I said passionate. I told you because you're all excited. That means passionate. Excited means same thing. Emotional. And you're vengeful.
Whatever.
You're trying to do to the whites what you think was done. Hold on, man. You're trying to do to the whites what you think was done to you, but you don't even know what was done to you because you weren't even there.
Hey, I know what was done to me because I wear a name that I'm not proud of anymore. And it's gonna happen to you, hey.
Lord.
It's gonna happen to you.
See,
but I gotta
that's
go,
revenge.
man.
All right, adios, man. Take care.
Yeah.
Bye. Rick in Maine, not Hampton, is on the line. Oops, I hung. Hey, so clumsy. Man. That stinks. Let me check for the super chats over here. Geronimo says, the Americans let you live and freed you, didn't they? Where they castrated the African slaves. They were sold everywhere else in the world. But America, they castrated them in the Muslims' land. But not in America so much. Sometimes they did, I heard. Let me double check over here on Ko-Fi and buy me a coffee, ko-fi.com. I don't have enough time to be dilly-dallying. Sorry about that, Rick. Let me play this dumb thing. I mentioned it. Play clip 13. This is from AP. An online conspiracy theory claims without evidence that COVID-19 vaccines are killing people. The AP fact-check team investigated. And here's a minute 29 of this propaganda. And it's a woman talking, and the man, totally not contrived, chimes in too. Listen to this.
A growing online conspiracy theory claims without evidence that COVID-19 vaccines are killing people.
The AP fact-check team investigated.
Signal Labs found the hashtag died suddenly, or a misspelled version of it, surged more than 740% in tweets about vaccines over 2 months.
The increase followed the late November debut of an online film by the same name.
Renee DeResta of Stanford Internet Observatory says the hashtag is kind of a wink wink, nudge nudge. People do in fact die unexpectedly, and then by assigning a hashtag to it, they aggregate all of these incidents in one place.
The narrative has leveraged high-profile moments, like the collapse of Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin as he suffered cardiac arrest. Experts say there's no evidence that the vaccine caused this injury.
Another case is a Brazilian TV presenter, Rafael Silva, who collapsed on air because of a congenital heart abnormality.
Eu recebi mensagens falando que eu deveria ter morrido para servir de exemplo para outras pessoas que ainda pensavam em tomar a vacina.
Studies and evidence from hundreds of millions administered shots prove that COVID-19 vaccines are safe and effective. Deaths caused by vaccination are extremely rare, and the risks associated with not getting vaccinated are far higher.
But that data hasn't stopped conspiracy theorists.
The AP reviewed more than 100 tweets from the theory's main account and found that claims about the cases being vaccine-related were largely without merit. In some cases, they were contradicted by public information.
Learn more at apnews.com.
Learn more at apnews.com. This article says, died suddenly, posts, twist tragedies to push vaccine lies. And I have a bunch of pictures from these people. There's like this fat mother and father whose one of their daughters died. And then there's another mother from like San Gabriel. Shout out to San Gabriel, whose son died in a car accident in 2017. And I don't know what the circumstances of this woman's children dying, but she and her husband pretty obese, morbidly obese. Shout out to the fat people. Shout out to you guys. But they don't seem to look too happy, except their daughter's all happy. Terrible. How would you like to have those two for parents? Shout out to the fat parents. but looks miserable. There's another older mother from San Gabriel whose son died in like 2017, and she wrote an article about it in 2022, 5 years later, and the anti-vaxxers jumped on it like as if it was a vaccine death, but it had nothing to do with it. It was a car accident. But she's still grieving 5 years later and has all these little pictures of him all around the house and stuff like that. I guess it's kind of understandable, but mother, move on. And what is she trying to pretend like she's hurt by these people speculating about her son's death? It reminds me of the so-called families of the Sandy Hook victims. Sandy Hook's a liberal place, I bet. Look at her next to a tripod holding her son's photograph of him being a drummer. Young man got killed in a car accident. Rest in peace. But it was 5-6 years ago. So they're pretending, dumb people or people who jump to conclusions about what they hear, which is a lot of you guys, will make assumptions and think that this is happening in cases in which it's not. And then the phony, fake news AP enemies of America will pounce on that and call you fake news and say, the vaccine is by and large safe and effective, safer than the getting sick in the first place, depending on who you are and what the issue is. And they're anti-white and anti-Christian, so how much can you trust them? And it's pushed by a woman. Anyway, guys, this has been the Hake Report. I got to end. Fallen State coming up. Nick's stream coming up. Church with Jesse Lee Peterson. But here's some more music. This is Black Tambourine, Heartbeat. It's a Buddy Holly cover. Hope you enjoy it, and adios, America.